Hello everybody. Let me say hi in order. Hi Madnats, hi Adelaide, hi Sonia, hi Colleen, hi Lane, great that you made it. Hi Lianka, hi Kaur, hi Darla, hi Janine. So there are a few things that you need to keep in mind whenever you want to make flowers out of polymer clay. And yeah, I did show you a few times how to make some flowers without using anything. I have a fruit fly here. I don't know where it came from. Your best bet is nevertheless to do get stuff that's specific for flowers. And among which, of course, is the... Hi Beth. Is the veiner, and I do have number one, you can find on PolyClay Play some things. Let me post once again my affiliate link. And Trish has gotten some pretty good stuff. Let me grab it for you because I know that she had some petal things at one point. Don't know if she still has them. This whole supply chain thing is horrible, but anyway, you can find some really cute leaf veiners. This one goes for any kind of leaves that you want to make, and they are fairly small. And this one is mostly for rose leaves. And yes, there you go, poppy flower. You have this with, I have a different one because she gets whenever she can find them. They are pretty much all the same. Your problem is finding something that is not too soft. So let me see, I made in the influencer store, I made the special category for flowers. I mean, it's besides the cutters and textures and things, there is one that is flower making, and I'm trying to find it. There we go, with various cutters for various types of flowers. But you can use this for many other flowers, not necessarily for poppies. But it's a good idea to have at least a few. So yeah, no, mine is from Trish. And she also has another thing that I recommend is to get yourself the flower modeling mat. And Trish also has the cutter for, I see, various cutters for poppies, and I have it here. It's actually 3, but, and you've seen me using it a lot for pendants. The largest one I use for pendants because it's a 3-piece cutter, and we're gonna use the smallest one. There you go. And as you can see, it's 525, so it's not, oh, she's out of stock. Well, I do have cutters on the influencer store. So okay, hi Kim. Oh my goodness, Cayman Islands, Shandy. Hi Becky. So I'm going to use some pomegranate Primo. What I keep saying over and over and over is that yes, you can make flowers with Primo, but if you really want to do something pretty, your best bet is Cernit, Cernit opaline, because Cernit opaline is already has a very slight translucency. If you want to work plain with Primo, then you'll have to use a little bit of translucent in it for a good finished look. But Cernit is the best to use for flowers, and you can also use Pardo, which has also what I've been saying many times. Flowers have also a little bit of pearlescence. If you look in a very close up, you'll see that there's a tiny bit of pearlescence. So do not use the metallic Primo. If you want to use the Primo, do not use the metallic Primo, because the mica powder in that one is not really red, it's more of a coralish, so, and it's a little bit large. So if you have remember, I keep recommending the Nature's oh my god, what's the name of it? Just a second. Not Nature's, Nurture soap. They make pigments and mica powders for soaps, and they are super their mica powders are super fine, and they are not pigments. They are, remember, I've been telling you many times, whenever you want to buy a mica powder, colored mica powder, make sure that it says colored mica powder, not colored mica pigment, because if it's a mica pigment, then the natural mica comes only in silver and the goldish. What we see as colored mica, it's all industrial made. So if you see mica pigment, it's going to be natural mica with a pigment. So the color of the mica will be different than the color of the pigment, unless we are talking about a silver or gold clay. But their mica is absolutely fabulous. This is what I've been using in my foam Petersite and in some of my tiger's eyes. But if you want to use anything like this, let me bring them up here so you can see, and the prices are really good. Huh? Okay, let's get back on the display. And you look for a red, and the candy apple is gorgeous. Coral reef is a little bit too orangey. A firecracker is absolutely fabulous. It's a very strong red. I have some, I just don't want to go and get it. But as you can see, they have all kinds of colors, and you can make your own super special colors of pearlescent, because all pearlescent is colored mica in translucent, and sometimes it's regular mica with a pigment in translucent, like some of the Cernit metallics are. But as you can see, they have absolutely fabulous, and the prices are great. So let me see, I have here sometimes they change the names. They don't have always the same names. I presume that okay, so there we go. So this is $4.50, and you can see that it's 1 ounce, so it's pretty much double the price of double the quantity of anything else that you can get for this price. But anyway, let's get back to our thing. Very affordable, very affordable. So the first thing you need to do is to make sure that your clay is super conditioned. So go several times with it on a thinner setting, and you'll have to work on, like on a makings, I'm going to work on a 7 with it. Okay, and this is my little mat. Actually, you get, I cut mine in half. You get, with what I showed you on my influencer store, you get 2 pieces that are double. And I cut mine in half. So, I'm going to gently cut some first. But it's your best bet to work on it, on the mat. Let's see how many. I'm going to try and get 5 petals. Hopefully, maybe not. No, I need one more. Let me grab 6 petals, see if I had to do this. Alrighty. Now I am going to give them each the veining treatment. Hi Nichidi. And remember, working with red polymer clay can be very staining. The red has the strongest pigment of all. I mean, it's going to, once you go with it through the pasta machine, make sure that you clean the pasta machine afterwards, especially if you're going to condition a lighter color, because it's going to stay on those rollers if you don't clean it. Okay, so I do have several of petal veiners, but I think that this one is one of my best to work with something small like this. So what you want to do, and it is a sugar craft. How do you know which are sugar craft and which are polymer clay? I showed it before. Hi Sharon. The sugar craft are very soft. You can bend them like this. The polymer clay ones are rigid. But you can still work for flowers with sugar craft stuff if you know how to do it. So when you go to place your petal, make sure that it comes straight at this end here, and then match the end. That's what you need to do. And then what I usually do, because my hands are not very good at pressing, right, and even if I would get my acrylic block and try to do this, I would still not have enough strength in my hands. So what I do, I just use my roller and voila. I have a nicely veined petal. So I'm going to do the same for all of them. So place properly. Make sure it matches. Roll. and because it's flexible, you can very easily get it off, even if you don't apply any kind of release for the mold. It's not a mold, it's actually a veiner. And then I'll show you another little secret. And I'm getting asked many times on what are my opinion of various other artists who make flowers. In my opinion, I don't know if you are subscribed to her channel, the goddess of flowers on YouTube, Polymer Clay Flowers on YouTube, is Rusalina. She's a Russian artist, and I think she's Russian, and she only works with Cernit. Just be aware of the fact that her tutorials are really masterclass. I mean, you cannot just bumble ahead and do whatever she does to start with, because it's quite masterclass. I mean, it's not that easy to make. What I'm showing here is not really masterclass, but it's not beginner class either, so it's more of an intermediate, and I'm trying to make it easy for anybody who has a little bit of idea about polymer clay to be able to make these. Okay, so the last one. Now your thing will be depending how you decide to place the flower. If you want it to be placed on a stem, or if you want to place it on a brooch, your best bet is to place it on a base, like for a brooch, or even if you want to make earrings, still get something like a base. And I didn't prepare a base ahead of time because I want to show you how to do something like this, to have it ready. Be careful, because if you want your flowers to stay flexible, you need to bake it about twice as long as you would a regular piece, because that's when they get, and it has to be super well conditioned. That is a must. So I'm going to create my flower on the acrylic block because it's easy to maneuver, and I'm going to just make a little base of something. So I'm just grabbing a little bit of clay here, because you don't need it to be very big, you just need it to have a base that you can scrape off and place in a, I mean, theoretically your best bet is to work it directly on the tile. Remember that I'm using those little mirror tiles, but I didn't want for you to be hi Mona, I didn't want you to be distracted by the reflections, so I'm going to work it on here. And then first of all, get your middle started. So if you have a petal about this big, you will need a middle about this size. Let's get out. So about this size should be your middle. The very middle. Okay. So what I need is a bead, and you can use different colors of clay But what I'm going to show you is something that's a little bit simpler, because what it does is you just color with chalk pastels. And you can use acrylic if you want, but it's not as easy as chalk pastels. So make a bead and cut it in half. And make sure that it stays somewhat round. And I'm going to use this to work on this half bead. Okay, at this point I will need my eyeglasses, and you can use your whatchamacallit, your X-Acto knife. You can use the back of your blade, or you can use a sculpting tool. What you need to do at this point is just cut in first. You don't cut, you just make an impression first in a cross, then you change the focus and do a pinch of zoom so you can see better what I'm doing. Okay, so do this, and then you start in the middle of everything, and again you go with the line. And you can stop here if you want, or if you want you can do even an extra line. I didn't go exactly in the middle there, but that's fine. Remember, you can do the back of your, you can use the back of your X-Acto knife. And I'm going to grab a toothpick. Give it a little dot there, and then come back because these are the things that will be on the very top of the seed pod. If you've ever seen a poppy seed pod, you want to a little bit separate them in here. Now it's pretty much like this. It should be good. And then the other thing that I'm going to do is to apply a pinch of green on it. Just a little. I grazed a little bit of chalk pastel. and this way it will give it pretty much the nuances that the poppy seed thing has. And it is not a mica, it's just plain chalk pastel, which I don't think I would use a mica unless you want to do an embellished poppy like I've shown before for the holidays. Then I'm going to create the little stamens. No worries, I did read. Oh yes. And I'm using just plain thread. And it all depends on, this one is too small. I'm going to use 2 fingers. Or maybe not. Need to find something that would work. So this should be, this is too big. This is also too big. My thumb. And I'm going and going and going and going. You can use thicker stuff if you want. It's not a must to use the thin one. You can use even like macrame if you want. Now comes the more difficult thing. Trying not to lose them. I'm going to go ahead and tie the middles. And I have some issues with pinching. Don't laugh at me, please. Normally I would use my mouth on this one, but I cannot do this on camera. I mean, I would hold one of the ends in my mouth. That's the best way I know how to do it. If you have somebody to help you, that would be the super best, but I don't, and my kitties do not know how to make knots. And this should be pretty much it. Let me grab a little piece of paper. So at this point, I want them to be a little bit longer than the bead. Okay, I pulled on it. And I'm going to use a little bit of acrylic. And it doesn't really matter You can use white, you can use light green, you can use green, you can use, just use something. You can use yellow. Of course, don't use blue or red or purple. But any white, any hue of yellow and any hue of green will work just fine. You can even use brownish tan. That would work. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is to dip them dip these ends in the acrylic paint, and then they have to dry. So that's why you need to pretty much do this ahead, starting to place the petals, because they need to dry. You don't want to work with wet acrylic. All right, now also it depends if you want to have your poppy all red, or if you want to, let me get back out, or if you want to have it with a little bit of black in the middle, because you know some of the poppies do have a little bit of black. So for this I'm going to use again some chalk pastel. Oops, I'm going to use the black. And you can leave them red like this, you don't have to. But you can very gently apply some black here. And as you can see, it works just fabulous. Always place the brush at the tip and go from there. And remember, the very tip will be covered by that bead of black, so you want to go a little bit further out on the petal. But it will provide that awesome look that the actual poppy has. A little bit too much here. That's fine. Some poppies do have some extra color. Hi Joyce from London. You know, I'm not always looking at the chat. That is why Elaine is such a sweetheart and helps me with moderating the live, because you've seen sometimes we get all kinds of spammers slash scammers on here, or just plain trolls. And one more. And then I'm going to show you a secret. You can, obviously you can first bake the petals if you so wish. But one thing that you can do is to actually make the petals stay fluffy by using paper. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab some wax paper. And I have 6, so if need be, I can cut more paper. And I thought I had some of the other, but that's going to be just fine. And I'm using some of this painter's tape, which is paper and holds just fine. Hi Karen, if I do place it properly. And if I don't have too much dust on my fingers. That goes on the tape. Yeah, my mom used to be pretty bad about using my teeth. What did I do? There you are. Yeah, but sometimes, you know, you don't really have the extra hand to work with the scissors. That's the main thing. So you use your teeth. Yeah, you can try that too. The idea is that they have to be in a circle. We will be extending them in a circle. So as long as you can do that, and if you find a better solution than mine, please feel free to use it. Remember, what I'm showing you is what I found works the best for me. There may be a lot of things that might be working better for you. And if they are, please do like Ilyanka and share them. Because most of us here are either elderly and or disabled, so we might have issues. Yeah, my hands are also very tired because I've been, if you heard me talking about doing a lot of yard work. We had over a month of rain, if not every day, every other day, and then a heat wave. So everything outdoors, all vegetation practically exploded. And the suburb city I live in, which is theoretically a suburb, but thank you, Glynis, but in fact it's not a suburb, because what happened initially, they were a little bit far away from Oklahoma City, several little towns, and then Oklahoma City started growing, and they became suburbs. And then Oklahoma City grew some more and practically went past those suburbs. And but these little cities still have their own administration, their own mayor, their own everything. So anyway, my little cities, they are very strict with how your house looks, how your front yard looks, and if any of your backyard can be seen from the street, how your backyard looks also. So if you don't keep it properly, they will come and with their men, and they will take care of it and send you a bill, which usually it's way bigger than anything a landscaper that you might hire would charge you. Then my next thing, I always do a little bit of thinning out of the very edges. Because I don't want the petals to look thick, you know, to look plasticky and all that. So as you can see, I roll it outwards, and it also gives it a little bit more ruffling. For the petal, and I'm trying to do this in between veins. Just makes the whole thing look a little bit more realistic. And there's the reason why I always go from the bottom of the veiner towards the top, because that also thins out a little bit the edges. Okay, now let me grab a smaller ball stylus. Now all I have to do is to place. So try to place it pretty much in the middle. And you leave these here so that when you bake, it will stay fluffed up. Might need more of these, not just what I made. I can place this. I mean, you can prop your petals in a lot of ways. So remember, this should be on a baking blank, not on acrylic, right? Stay here. And one more toothpick here. And I need more toothpicks. Don't you hate it when there's two toothpicks vying for coming out? I'm going to place this one like this here. Maybe one more. Because then you can use all these toothpicks to create a dimension on your flowers. You can also use, if you have individual muffin cups, if you want to make the poppy closer. Aw, that's so sweet. Okay, now what I'm going to do is first to put this back so I don't topple it by mistake. Now, what you want to do for the next one, because we have powder there, that would make, generally speaking, might make the other clay nut, and I made the boo-boo. I'm looking at the screen. Okay, so going to separate them because they might get a little bit stuck together. Because of the acrylic paint. And oops. You can make, if it's hard for you to separate them, you can make several and just place them in a little cross style thing. And I'm going to place this tentatively, not press, but have something here to hold them when you move them around. I normally would make more of this, not just that little thing. I just didn't want to hold you too long. But after a while they are going to all what in the world did you do? Came after this. Not supposed to do that. Anyway, I'm not going to make another one right now, but you get the idea of how to make these. A lot of times I actually bake them separately and then I place them there already baked. But you can see this is pretty much how it looks like. And if you want them to pop even more, what you need to do is to come here and just press some more on the clay, and it will make the edge of them raise up. So just press on these little lines in the clay to push the clay down, and it will make the clay raise up. But pretty much this is it, and you can bake them as ruffled as you want, but and use more than how many rolls I used here, and more toothpicks. Just place them so they would be nicely held up, and you wouldn't have to worry about them flopping as they get baked. You can even get them more. After you position them, that's when you start working on how they will be ruffling. But there we go, pretty much this is it. And once it gets baked, it won't be so shiny anymore, obviously. So you can just afterwards just you know, either glue it or bake it on a base. You can make a pendant, you can make a barrette, you can make whatever. Yes, give me thumbs up. Don't forget to give me thumbs up. And what can I say? Hopefully it will not take me more than another week to catch up on my garden work, and then I can finally focus again entirely on polymer clay. I've been struggling a lot with losing the weight and everything, and I think I then identified yet again another thing that wasn't making me lose weight the way that I wanted to. So hopefully everything will go much better from now on. Hopefully. So thank you so much. And I was thinking next Sunday, why don't we make something with that pretty cane that we did last Sunday. Remember that this is the basic triangle. So let's make something with that cane. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you. Don't forget to thumbs up. Don't forget to use my Amazon influencer store and my affiliate link for PolyClay Play. Thank you, Mirinia. Oh my goodness, everybody's autocorrect is awesome. Yes, thank goodness for the replay button. It might take a few minutes before it's ready for replay, so anyway, I hope you like it. Let me get it a little bit closer so you can see better. And and try to, it doesn't want to, it's too dark. Let me reduce the brightness so you can see it better. Okay, the greenish, that's the cane that we did last Sunday, so it's available for replay if you want to see. So thank you so much, and I will see you next Sunday. Thank you, Joyce. Thank you, everybody. Bye.